There are places in this world that feel untouched by time, where silence carries the weight of eternity. Here, in the wild heart of Alaska, the wind moves through pine and ice like a whisper from something older than man. It's a land that tests everything living and everything broken. On a ridge overlooking a frozen river stands a man, coat heavy, eyes distant. His name is Daniel Cole, a former Marine, 52 years old, and a widower. 2 winters ago, Daniel buried his wife beside the Sitka spruce tree behind their cabin. Since then, words have been few, his only company. The sound of snow against the roof, the moan of wind through the rafters, and the distant cry of eagles that circle above the valley. Every morning, he walks the trail leading down to the river, boots crunching against frost, rifle slung over shoulder, not to hunt but to remember how to move. And every morning, as if drawn by the same unseen pulse, a bald eagle watches him. From a dead pine on the ridge, she sits, feathers dark near her shoulders, crown white as glacier light. Her eyes, gold and unblinking, track him with quiet intelligence. Neither knows it yet, but this frozen wilderness is about to weave their fates together. Please like and subscribe. In Alaska, the line between life and death is written in ice. Every heartbeat must be earned, every breath taken from the mouth of the cold. Daniel kneels beside the river, scooping water with his hands. He's not here for food, not today. He's here because silence feels safer than people. But above him, the eagle descends, a blur of grace and shadow, wings spread 6 feet wide. She lands upon a low branch only yards away. For a moment, their eyes meet, man and bird, 2 survivors of separate wars. The eagle's gaze is fierce but calm, as if studying him, not fearing him. Daniel breathes deeply, unsure why his chest feels warm in this freezing wind. He remembers his wife's words, how she used to say, "The wilderness speaks if you learn to listen." Maybe this is what she meant. Suddenly, a sharp cry from the eagle breaks the moment. She leaps into flight, scattering snow from the branches, soaring back toward the valley. In her talons, something dangles, a strip of torn cloth. Daniel steps forward, frowning. The cloth looks familiar, army green, frayed edges, a tag half ripped away. From a jacket like his old one, he looks after her silhouette, shrinking into the pale horizon. And for the first time in months, Daniel feels curiosity instead of emptiness. Please like and subscribe. Days pass. The light in Alaska is fleeting. Dawn bleeds into dusk with no true day between. But Daniel keeps returning to the river, always looking for the eagle. He sees her again on the 5th morning, perched near a broken birch, preening her feathers, a piece of green fabric still tangled in her talon. Bald eagles, in truth, are not hunters of pride. They are scavengers of patience. They steal, they wait, they watch. They thrive not by strength, but by cunning, by understanding the rhythm of survival. Daniel kneels, setting a small fish upon the snow. He steps back, waits. The eagle tilts her head, considering. Minutes stretch into silence. Then, wings unfurl. She glides down, talons piercing the snow beside the fish. It's not trust, not yet, but it's the beginning of something quieter, a truce between grief and instinct. Please like and subscribe. The Alaskan wilderness shows no mercy to those who forget its laws. That night, a blizzard swallows the valley whole. Daniel's cabin groans under the weight of the storm. The wind howls like 1,000 lost souls outside. In the chaos, he hears it, faint but distinct, the cry of the eagle. High, desperate, lost in the snow. Without hesitation, he pulls on his coat, grabs a lantern, and steps into the white void. Each gust of wind feels like a shove from an unseen hand. He follows the cries, stumbling through snow drifts until he finds her. The eagle lies tangled in a fallen branch, one wing pinned beneath ice. Daniel drops to his knees, lantern trembling in his grasp. Her eyes flash, wild with pain and fear, but he speaks softly, the way one might calm a wounded soldier. "Easy there, I'm not your enemy." He breaks the branch, frees her wing, and wraps her gently in his coat. Blood stains the snow. Her breaths are ragged, shallow. Back at the cabin, he tends to her in silence. The fire crackles, shadows flicker. For the first time since his wife's passing, Daniel feels purpose again. Not in surviving, but in saving. Weeks pass. Outside, the snow begins to melt. Inside, life returns, in small, fragile moments. The eagle's wing mends slowly. Daniel feeds her bits of fish, sets water in a wooden bowl. At first, she resists, glaring, snapping, retreating to corners. But every day he speaks to her, not words of command, but quiet stories. About his wife, about the war, about silence. And though she never answers, her eyes soften, as if understanding the language of loss. Biologists say bald eagles mate for life. When one dies, the other often wanders alone, circling familiar skies, calling into emptiness. Daniel wonders if she, too, has lost someone, if grief has wings. One morning, she perches on the open window frame, feathers glinting in dawn light. Daniel watches, heart heavy with what he knows must come next. "You don't belong in cages," he whispers. She tilts her head, as if memorizing his face. Then, she leaps. Wings catch the air, body rising above the treetops. Daniel steps outside, watching her disappear into the mountains. The silence returns, but it's different now. It's not emptiness, it's peace. For the first time in years, he smiles. Not because she stayed, but because she left. And because somewhere in that cold, endless sky, part of him is flying too. Nature, for all its beauty, carries danger in its breath. A wildfire, born from lightning, races across the valley. Daniel grabs what little he can, loading it into his truck. Flames consume the edges of the forest. But through the smoke, a familiar cry pierces the chaos. He looks up, the eagle circling frantically above the blaze. Below her, a fallen tree burns near the river, and beneath it, a nest. Without thought, Daniel runs toward it. Heat scorches his skin. Smoke blinds his eyes. He pulls the branches free, one after another, until the small bundle beneath is revealed. A single eaglet, trembling and alive. He shields it with his coat and stumbles back through the inferno. Above, the eagle screams, not in fear, but gratitude. Together, they survive the night. When dawn breaks, the fire is gone. Only blackened earth remains. But life persists. Time moves differently in Alaska. Winters fade, summers return, but the mountains remember everything. Daniel stands once more on the ridge where it all began. In his hands, the small eaglet, now grown strong, ready to fly. He lifts it toward the wind. It hesitates, then spreads its wings, taking flight. Above them, the mother eagle circles, her shadow passing over Daniel's face. He watches as they soar together into the morning light. And for the first time since the war, since the funeral, since the silence, Daniel weeps, not from sorrow, but from release, because he finally understands that love is not lost in death, only transformed, like wings finding the wind again. Here in the heart of Alaska, A man found hope in a wounded bird, and in saving her, he saved himself.